This is the Compass Podcast, where we find the spiritual in the everyday. Hello there, my name is Ryan Dunn. It's been a busy couple of weeks. Are you feeling that too? Chances are, no matter when you're listening to this episode of Compass, that you're actually feeling a bit time crunched as well. That's how we roll in this era, really, isn't it? Sometimes these feelings come about because our schedules really are truly jam-packed. Sometimes the feelings come because of a frame of mind. We feel crunched because we've made an assumption that we are. In any case, it pays to disrupt this cycle of time anxiety and to practice some deliberation. And the practice we're going to talk about today is one that is full of energizing connection. So no matter if our tight schedules are due to reality or to perception, this practice provides a sense of connectedness, refreshment, strength, and confidence for facing our day-to-day challenges. We love to provide these spiritually contemplative practices from time to time on Compass. In the past, we've practiced the welcoming prayer, centering prayer. We have resources available on breath prayer. And in this episode, we'll talk about the loving kindness meditation. Before we get into that, I do want to invite you to help out the Compass Podcast. And you can do that simply by dropping a rating and review of the podcast. So if our spiritual practices are helpful, if our inspiring stories are helpful, or if our always insightful interviews and recommendations are helpful for your spiritual journey, then share that on your podcast listening platform. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get to the business at hand, the loving kindness meditation. Loving kindness meditation, also known as metta meditation, is a practice that cultivates feelings of love, compassion, and goodwill towards oneself and others. It originates from the Buddhist tradition, but is now practiced by people from various backgrounds because of its positive effects on mental well-being and its positive effects on relationships. Now, some people in the Christian tradition get a little weirded out when we talk about using spiritual practices from other faith traditions. So I want to note the core purpose of this spiritual practice actually aligns with Christian values. Things like love, compassion, forgiveness, and treating others with kindness. It encourages Christians to embody the teachings of Jesus Christ and cultivate a heart of love towards oneself and others. And so often, these spiritual practices are also guidelines. They provide an outline for us building our own stratagems of meaning and connecting with the divine presence around us. So you've probably heard the phrase that your focus determines your reality. Thank you, Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn. Or maybe you've heard the derivative, your intent determines your focus. Our focus here is not the actual practice. Our focus is witnessing more deeply to the movement of the divine in our presence. For the Christian, that divinity is marked by the Holy Trinity, and that is our focus. The spiritual practice just becomes our means. And we probably need to note that spiritual traditions have always adapted outside practices for their own ends. Think about the songs that you sing in worship, or the devotions you may use in your normal spiritual reflections. This podcast that you're listening to right now, all this stuff would have been foreign to the spiritual practitioners of just a few generations ago. That being said, we should give clear credit and respect to the spiritual tradition that provides for us the loving kindness meditation. Loving kindness meditation, which is also known as metta meditation, has its origins in ancient Buddhist teachings. It is believed to have been taught by Buddha himself around 2,500 years ago, and the practice of metta is an essential component of the Brahma Viharas, which are 4 sublime states of mind emphasized in Buddhist teachings. The Buddha taught metta as a means to develop boundless love and goodwill towards all beings. It was a way to overcome ill will, anger, and aversion. The practice aims to cultivate a heart of loving kindness, compassion, empathetic joy, and equanimity. By cultivating these qualities, then, practitioners seek to transcend personal biases and extend benevolence towards oneself and to those around them. The teachings and practice of the loving kindness meditation were transmitted orally from generation to generation within the Buddhist tradition. However, the popularity and wider dissemination of metta meditation can be attributed to various Buddhist teachers and scholars over the centuries. One influential figure in the popularization of loving-kindness meditation is the Burmese monk Sayadaw U Narada. He played a significant role in introducing metta meditation to the West in the mid-20th century. Narada's teachings and writings, including the book The Practice of Loving-Kindness, helped to make the practice more accessible to a broader audience. In recent times, loving-kindness meditation has gained popularity beyond the Buddhist community and has been embraced by people from diverse spiritual backgrounds and from secular settings. The practice has been incorporated into mindfulness-based interventions, into psychotherapy, and secular mindfulness programs where it's recognized for its positive effects on well-being, on empathy, and compassion. No matter what you believe spiritually, you'll agree that the world could use more empathy and compassion. And most of us would likely also agree that we could definitely practice a bit more self-compassion in the interest of well-being. Another old phrase is that hurt people hurt people. Likewise, loved people love people. And this love begins with a proper sense of love for self, which the loving kindness practice helps to rekindle. So, if you're ready, let us walk through the steps of this practice. I'm going to provide some generic instructions, and then with each step, I'll provide an idea or two on how I could adapt the step to my own Christian focus. You may take it where you will. Here we go. Step 1 is to find a comfortable space. Choose a quiet place where you can sit comfortably without distractions. You may want to sit on a cushion or a chair with an upright posture. Step 2 is very similar to our centering practice. Set your intention. Begin by setting your intention for the meditation practice. This can be a simple statement, such as, "May I cultivate loving kindness towards myself and others," or any phrase really that resonates with you. Or you can express your desire to cultivate the love and compassion of Christ within yourself and extend it to others. The third step is to start directing loving kindness towards yourself. So close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and bring your attention inward. Repeat phrases silently or aloud, such as, "May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease." Feel the warmth and kindness in your words as you repeat them. Now, I've heard/read several Christians offering that they are uncomfortable with these phrases. We don't believe that we're called towards a life of ease, nor do we think that we're promised happiness throughout our lives on earth. And overall, we find the scriptures suggest that we set ourselves aside, right? So this phraseology feels a bit self-focused from that standpoint. I think, though, that's a cultural interpretation. And I don't want to suggest that Buddhism is self-focused, because it's very much about sacrifice and the benefit of all. For Buddhists, there's a lot packed into what makes one happy or safe or living with ease. And it's not really about having stuff, but more about letting go of want and selfishness, which actually aligns with our Christian values too. Another way to encounter this step is to start by expressing gratitude for God's love and blessings in your life. So acknowledge God's unconditional love and ask for guidance throughout the meditation. You can say prayers of gratitude or recite biblical verses that emphasize God's love as well. Like, for example, Ephesians 2, 4, and 5. It's one of my favorites. "God, who is rich in mercy, out of the great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead through our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace, you have been saved." The point of this third step is to ground yourself in love. So whatever it is that reminds you of the love in your life, it is of value here. Step 4 involves extending loving kindness to loved ones. After generating feelings of loving kindness towards yourself, bring to mind a loved one, a family member or friend or someone you care deeply about, and repeat the phrases, directing your well wishes towards them. So you might say, "May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease." Visualize them experiencing happiness and peace. And variations of this step include, again, bringing to mind a loved one and focusing on the love you have for them. Pray for their well-being and happiness, asking God to bless them abundantly. Maybe you can use a phrase such as, may blank be filled with God's love and grace. May they experience peace and joy. Move on and pray for multiple people if you do feel so moved. Now in step 5, we'll widen the net as we cultivate loving kindness for neutral people. So now bring to mind someone that is an acquaintance or someone you don't have strong feelings towards. Extend your loving kindness towards them using the same phrases. Again, you can turn this towards prayer. Pray for their well-being, asking God to fill their lives with love and blessings. Use phrases such as, may so-and-so be touched by God's love. May they experience compassion and find inner peace. In step 6, get ready. You're going to extend loving kindness to difficult people. Next, think of a person with whom you have difficulties, conflicts, or negative feelings about. It's okay if this feels challenging at first. Send them loving kindness, recognizing their shared humanity and just wishing them well. Repeat the phrases such as, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you live with ease. Or, again, turn it to prayer. May so-and-so experience God's transforming love. May they find healing and recognition through love and grace. Step 7 is to radiate loving kindness to all beings. So expand your loving kindness to encompass everything beyond the boundaries of your personal connections. Imagine your loving kindness spreading out to everyone in your community, city, country, and eventually the whole world. Repeat the phrases such as, may all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe. May all beings live with ease. Or pray something like, may all beings be embraced by God's boundless love. May the love seen in Christ bring peace and unity to the world. Step 8 is the last one, but it's not one to be rushed. It's closing and reflection. So when you feel ready to end the practice, take a moment to notice any shifts in your emotions, thoughts, or body sensations. Reflect on the experience and the feelings of loving kindness you have cultivated. Take a few deep breaths and slowly open your eyes. You can express gratitude to God for the love and ask for continued guidance in living a life filled with love and compassion. And that's it. So a short TLDR, too long didn't read, recap of this whole thing is first to physically prepare yourself comfortably. Second, set your attention. Third, reflect on love in your own life. Fourth, reflect that love towards those around you. Fifth, imagine what love looks like in the lives of those beyond your close circle. Six, imagine what love and healing looks like with your adversaries. 7 is to imagine love taking hold of all of creation. And then finally, take some inventory of what occurred to you through the practice. I'd love to hear your reactions to this practice or even our other spiritual practices that we've recommended and also contemplative exercises. Of course, if you think this is all nonsense, then Michelle Maldonado would love to hear from you I'm just kidding. You can email both of us at rethinkchurch@umcom.org. The Compass Podcast is brought to you by United Methodist Communications. Hey, if Compass is meaningful for you, then check out another episode. You would also enjoy using your imagination in prayer. That was episode 95. Or meditative practice for daily disruptions. That was from May of 2021. It outlines the welcoming prayer. While you're listening, again, go ahead and leave a rating and or a review. Thank you so much. Compass comes out every other Wednesday, unless, of course, we're interrupted by a holiday, in which case we'll hit your feed the following week. But we'll be back online in 2 weeks' time in this case. So I'll chat at you then. Peace.